What's going on, everybody? It's David from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. While you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you see a Patreon account. You click it, become a member. All you got to do is try to recommend movies and music and trailers for me to react to. So click the link. Now, with that being said, we are here today to review Firestarter, the 2022 remake of the original Firestarter, starring Drew Barrymore as a kid. But that Firestarter is based on a book by Stephen King. So let's get into the movie. So, a quick synopsis: the movie is about a young girl who has powers and they're on the run from the government because they're trying to capture her in order to experiment on her or harness her powers or to do God knows what. That's basically the damn movie, all right, in a nutshell. So let's go ahead and talk about this director. What's his name? Keith Thomas or something like that, right? What's his name? Yes, his name is Keith Thomas. Keith Thomas has did absolutely nothing except the movie called The Vigil, you know? And I mean, I don't remember seeing that movie. I think I've heard of the movie, but as far as I know, like, doesn't really ring a bell. But this movie does star Zac Efron, who surprisingly does a pretty damn good job as Charlie's father. Then you have Ryan Kiera Armstrong, who I don't remember her being in many movies, but apparently she was one of the little girls in Black Panther, Black Widow. And then we also have Michael Gray Eyes and Sidney Lemon and a whole bunch of other people that nobody really gives a shit about, right? Um, I'm just gonna go ahead and just ramble on about this movie. So let me start off with the pros. One of the biggest pros in this movie is John Carpenter's score. I am not going to bullshit you. That movie has one of the best freaking scores I've heard in a cool minute. Like, John Carpenter did his thing for the score. And if you go for anything in this movie, the score is definitely bumping. So kudos to him for doing that. Also, the girl that plays Charlie Ryan, she does a pretty good job as, Charlie, and being that young teenage girl that's coming into her senses of who she is and the potential that she has, so on and so forth. And she does a pretty damn good job. Zac Efron also does a pretty damn good job. I was kind of skeptical about him being her father. I know that he's capable of doing things because didn't he do the Ted Bundy movie? I feel like he did the Ted Bundy movie. I mean, even though I wasn't like super thrilled about it and it wasn't something that I want to like ramble on about, but I know that Zac Efron has taken some dark roles. So it's not like he's just a pretty boy, want to run around with his shirt off with oil all over him. I guess he's finally beyond that. Um, Most of the other characters in this movie are freaking forgettable. The one thing I will say this off top is I feel like they did my boy dirty. I don't know his name right now. Off the top of my head, it's leaving me, but they got Red Foreman in this movie. Oh, Kurtwood Smith. Kurtwood Smith, who you may know as Red Foreman. Also, you may know as the main antagonist in the original RoboCop movie. He's in this movie for about 10 freaking seconds, and it pissed me off because I wanted him to be in the movie more. You also have this black chick who's annoying as shit. What's her name? Gloria Rubin. I don't know if she's black or Hispanic. I don't know who the fuck she is, but she is so damn annoying in this movie. She tries way too freaking hard. She annoys the shit out of me. All right. Off top, she's a terrible fucking actress. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with casting her. Um, like I said, I mean, another thing too that was bad about this movie was the freaking CGI. I kind of saw the CGI in the trailer and I was just like, that shit kind of looked bad. But then when you watch the movie, like it's pretty evident. I don't know why they didn't just go ahead and just squirt Zac Efron in the eyes with some red eye makeup or something, but they CGI'd his eyes bleeding in one scene, and it was like one of the worst things I've seen ever. The heavy CGI scenes were really bad, but the one scenes that they did have with actual pyrotechnicians, the pyrotechnicians, the actual shots of fire being thrown, That looked good. I kind of wish we would have saw more of it though. For a little girl that has the freaking pyrokinesis, like you would think that we will watch her burn the whole world down. I mean, and honestly, the third act of this movie saves it completely because without it, this movie drags immensely. I mean, this movie drags badly. Um, it has like spurts where it's trying to keep you interested and trying to keep you entertained, and like it just doesn't do it. As quick as the tension gets built up, it gets released very quickly. And as you're watching Charlie kind of like go down this road of maturity and figuring out her powers, and you have all these opportunities for character development and growth with this character, and then you prolong it, and then all of a sudden you find yourself at the end of the movie having to speed up this process. If you would just have her kind of like do these developmental processes more during the original storyline, it'll be a little bit more believable than like, oh, she just sat in the woods one day, kumbaya with herself, and all of a sudden she became Jean Grey from fucking X-Men. Like it's kind of like unbelievable in a way, especially when you consider that at the beginning of the movie her powers are completely uncontrollable, and they talk about how massive her potential is because these powers are just she's basically the product of two people who also have powers. So she's supposed to be like this potent mutant, like on some X-Men shit. And like I said, just watching this movie, like it's a fun watch. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, like you are going to sit back and you're going to get bored. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna be bored maybe like halfway through the movie because it doesn't really do much to keep you interested. And Del Boy mentioned it, and I was also thinking of it myself. This movie probably would have been better off as a TV series because that way you can kind of slow it down, take your time, and kind of like map it out. Because that third act felt rushed, and although it was very satisfying because you finally see her get to toast people and use her powers, it really just I don't know. It just could have been executed better. It could have been this movie could have been executed a lot better. I had fun with it. It was cool. But I kind of rather watch the terrible CGI fireballs from the original, in my opinion. I felt like that. I don't like when I watched the original, I felt like it flowed a little bit better. It kept me interested a little bit more. This movie was kind of jumpy. It felt kind of rushed in places, and I don't know, like it just something was off. Something was off definitely in the first two acts, and then they try to redeem it with a dope ass third act. And it's crazy because the intro and the end credit scenes of this movie feels like you're watching this retro ass 80s movie, and I love it. And I felt like maybe they should have just kept that vibe throughout the whole movie, but they didn't. And it's like even like the end credit scene, I swear, is like something straight out of an old school movie. Like, come on, like you have like the characters walking off and then like the little music playing and then the freaking credits are rolling and you see the names are going down. Like that's so 80s with a John Carpenter score. Like I mean that was probably one of the most iconic, dopest moments of the whole damn movie. But like it's I don't know, man. This movie could have been a lot better. So here on the Cinema Chop Shop with great movies in three ways, count them three ways. Either you get bodied and sent to the bowels of hell, or you get a big fat meh, which means your movie's mediocre as hell, or you get spared and I say your movie's dope. I'm gonna have to give this movie a big fat meh. Yeah, you heard it, folks. I'm a meh this movie because honestly, like I said, although it was enjoyable in some aspects and it was fun watching one of these older movies get remade, these are the movies that I feel like should be remade because we have all of these big name projects that always get remade. And it's like, why are you forgetting about the little guys? Go ahead and find you a B movie that nobody knows about. Go ahead and find you a freaking older movie like the fucking Night Flyer or something. Go remake these movies. Like remake shit that people probably haven't seen before. Hell, even a freaking a remake of Nightbreed would be dope, But Nightbreed, the TV show, would be fire though. But some things just I don't know. You might need a little bit more time. I'm not really familiar with the book. I don't know how true this movie is to the book, but I'm pretty sure that this movie deviated even further away from the book. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment sections down below. But yeah, you have my grade. Let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop it in the comment section down below. And you are now exiting this in the Chop Shop. Hope you guys have a magnificent day. Adios, homies. hot as shit.